Okay, so today's stick is another old favorite, the Kuba by Acid by True Estates. Acid Kuba by True Estates. This is the cigar that started it all for me. I had been smoking Macanudos for a while, but only occasionally, not very often. And didn't know very much about smoking cigars. Then a friend of mine, he got into a job where a bunch of the other guys that he worked with were cigar smokers, so he picked it up from them. And one day we got together and he handed me one of these, a Kuba. I think this is like I think this is True Estate's biggest selling acid cigar. Yeah, just a typical acid blue, gold trim. Name band just says Kuba. Cuba, spelled with a K, and I'm pronouncing it the way that I've heard others pronounce it. I don't know if it's Cuba or Kuba or whatever. But nice wrapper's interesting. You can see that there are some spots. It's actually getting pretty good for a close-up. But the wrappers look nice. Even a bit of toothiness for the kind of wrapper that this is. Construction is exactly what you would expect. That's a solid cigar. I believe this is a Toro. I think it's a 6x50, maybe a 52. I'm not quite sure. It's a big cigar. Another one of the big cigars, and it just has that incense is the one that I most and for me when I was younger, sandalwood incense was what I usually burned. This reminds me a lot of it, but it's not quite the same. But there's very much of a botanical note to this, and it's actually not the note; it's just the aroma, and of course a sweetened tip. This one, I think I will do another punch. See that? You can see the disc cut out, and you can see there a nice clean hole made through the wrapper, exposing the filler in between. And this is my cigar punch. Looks like a little cigar. Actually, it looks kind of like a the term for that type of cigar. Red band, and of course this is supposed to be, I guess, hung from a keychain. However, this does not really hold on very well. Comes apart quite easily. Big cutting hole blade there. Hole in the other side so you can punch all this stuff through. I don't think it's filled up quite yet. I think I'm gonna let it fill up. I've usually kept it quite clean, but I want to see what it looks like when I punch it out, when it fills all up and I get all those little different colors, and see what it looks like. But that's my, I believe I got that from Davidus down in Gaithersburg. Oh, another instrument that I have here. This is the Cold Steel Highlander. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but this is actually not metallic. This is a nylon fiber composite, I believe. It's very stiff. It does have a little bit of give there, but this is intended, and this is a softer grip handle. Has some kind of rubbery kind of stuff, and as you can see, there's a thumb print, so it's intended to be held in the hand sideways like this. Very sharp point. This is made for penetration. It also has jimping on the back so that it can be held this way, and because of the type of material it's made from, you can see that there are serrations. Now these serrations are quite sharp. I believe that they won't cut flesh, they will rip flesh. I've actually cut some cardboard with it, and it takes a little effort, but that's actually looks kind of dangerous if you ask me. But I use it generally to open things and I keep it in a convenient spot in case I should have need of it. All right, well, let's get this thing lit. And yeah, so a guy gave me a Kuba, and from the very first smoke, I was like, what is this? This is like nothing I've ever had before. And just, I think I went out and bought several of these, and then found out that acid was a line, and just started buying different ones and I think I found out about Cigars International online and ordered one of the acid sampler tins. I think I still have the tin, as a matter of fact. But just ordered, I think there was something like 20 or so cigars in that thing, plus a package of C notes. They're garbage. I don't know why they bothers with those things. They're just horrible tasting. I don't know anyone who's ever smoked a C note and enjoyed it. I think I smoked half of one from one pack and threw them away. But all the rest of them were pretty good. The only acid cigar I'm not a big fan of, that I'm not really, I'll smoke it, but it's not something I would pick up, it's not something I would buy, would be the Extraordinary Larry. I'm not quite sure how they, extraordinary, but, and it's a big cigar. I think it's a Churchill size, but I just wasn't impressed by it when I smoked one. And I believe I've had it more than once, but I don't believe I've really enjoyed. Well, I mean, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I'm going to enjoy this, or I've enjoyed many other acid cigars. But anyway, let me shut the up and we'll get this lit. Toast. A toast. You can throw toast at the screen. I don't give a shit. Yep. Just that. Excuse me. Just that floral, herbal flavor right from the very start. Infusing tobacco really does change it. I mean, way at the back and at the end, there's still that leather and wood flavor. I mean, that never goes away. I mean, after all, that's what you're smoking. You're smoking tobacco. That's the flavor profile of that stuff. But tobacco's ability to absorb the aroma and flavor compounds in the air around it just really gives you this opportunity to do things like this. This is, I don't know what, and I don't know what your estate's actual process is. I would expect that it's, storing them in the same container, perhaps under pressure, perhaps enhanced CO2, I don't really know, enhanced oxygen, whatever it might take. But it really does give a different flavor to smoking a cigar. And these are not flavored cigars. This isn't chocolate or cherry or vanilla or whatever other flavor they might come up with, pineapple, coconut, margarita, but just other botanicals that have an interesting flavor. Maybe cinnamon, I'm not really sure. It's kind of, the blend is what really makes the difference. It's difficult to pick out a particular flavor note. Maybe somebody with a much more refined palate than mine can do so, but I'm afraid I'm right here, but I'm enjoying it.